All right, new day and another laptop that needs to be saved, and this time we have an Alienware M17R3. This one's an interesting one because we fixed this one on our weekly live stream at 6 p.m. Central on Wednesdays. This laptop came in dead, it wouldn't turn on at all. We were able to reprogram the EC chip and now the laptop works, but after installing Windows, it's throwing an error on the NVIDIA graphics card. So I haven't determined what the issue is, but we're gonna take a look together and see if we can get this figured out. Okay, so this laptop's working now. We did fix it the other day, and what was interesting is that this came in completely dead. I was able to reprogram the EC chip, and that actually resolved the power on issue. This did not have an operating system on it, but it passed all the diagnostics, and I was going to ship it out to the customer. But then I offered to go ahead and just install Windows 11 for him, so I went ahead and did that. But after I installed Windows 11, got all the drivers installed, this is what I found, is that the NVIDIA graphics card, which is a RTX 270 Super, is throwing an error. And it's an error code 43, which actually points to having a bad VRAM module on the GPU. So I haven't determined which module it is and if this actually would be repairable, but let me show you how we can run some tests and see if we can figure out which module is bad. So usually when you have a graphics card that's errored out like that, there's really nothing you can do, but there are some tricks that we can try to figure out why the error is coming up, and it's gonna be on one of these memory modules. Let me grab a donor board and I'll show you what I mean. So this is the motherboard that's in this machine. And so we have the GPU and we have the CPU. This one actually has RAM built on the board too. So this is gonna be your regular DDR4 RAM. But over here is gonna be the GPU, and then we have our VRAM right around here. Let me see if I can pull that off and show you. So here's our VRAM, and so there's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, depending upon the version of the motherboard, you could have up to 8 modules. Now this is just a bad board here, but what we're looking at is we're gonna be running a diagnostic test program called Mats and Mods, and we're gonna run that and see if we can identify which chip is throwing the error. And then once we get that figured out, then we can either reflow the chip or we can replace the chip. This isn't always successful, but this is just something we can try to see if we can resolve this. Otherwise, this will be a motherboard replacement. All right, so I'm gonna remove their operating system, the fresh installed Windows 11. And I have a pre-configured SSD that has Mats and Mods loaded on it. And so we'll boot off of this and then we'll be able to run those tests. So we're booted in the Tiny Linux, and this particular configuration of SSD has a list of all different versions of the NVIDIA drivers. We're working on a 270 Super, so I do have a 270 configuration here, so that's what folder we're gonna need to go into. Okay, so now that we're in the 270 Super folder, there's a couple commands that we can run. We need to tell the software that we're actually booted off of the Intel graphics and that the NVIDIA graphics is a separate card, so we're gonna run that command now. Okay, I've run that command and it did fail, but that's okay. Now we're gonna run the actual GPU test, and that takes a long time, but I'm gonna pipe that output to less. It will actually create a config file or a output file that we can look at, but we're just gonna pipe it to less, and that way it just outputs to the screen. But I'll be right back after this runs. All right, that finished. It took about 10 minutes or so. If we look here, so here's our report. And this is actually showing us our banks that are not working. So it shows us each memory chip listed all the way down. And we have an A0, A1, B0, B1, C0, C1, and D0, D1. And so it's saying that bank A0 is having read errors, but it's not having write errors, but it's having an issue in general. So that's probably what our issue is and why the graphics card is not working. So to identify which VRAM module it is on the board, you look at the motherboard and you hold the motherboard in the orientation where the NVIDIA chip is facing the correct way for you to read it. And then you're gonna go counterclockwise starting in the bottom corner and go around. So this would be A1, A0, B1, B0, C1, C0, D1, D0. So if we're actually having an issue on A0, then we're gonna be using, this would be A1, so this is A0. So the middle module on this side is gonna be the one that we're gonna be addressing. So we can try reflowing it. It is only having read errors, and not write errors, so it means that maybe it just has one of the pads that are not having a good enough connection, so we may be able to just reflow that chip and it might resolve the issue. If not, we can just replace the module too. So, but we'll need to get this motherboard removed from the machine, and then we can test. All right, and the motherboard is out. We will need to remove this heatsink. We gotta make sure to unplug our fans first because it plugs in on the opposite side of the board. And when we remove this heatsink, we'll be able to see the actual VRAM modules. All right, we got the heatsink off. Ooh, needs to be rethermal paste, I guess. Look at that. That looks like original, or it looks like somebody added some on top. It is a little bit too much. You don't want to have it overflowing over the edge like that. So we will clean this up completely and put all fresh thermal paste on it. So we're gonna have to pull this cover off to get to the VRAM modules. All right, and you can see that's the same setup as before. So we have A1, A0, B1, B0, C1, C0, and D1, D0. So this is the module that we're looking at because it was going to be A0, right? So A1, A0, so this is the one that we're looking at. Let's take a look at it under the microscope. See if we see anything obvious. I doubt we do. A lot of times you're not going to be able to tell what's going on. And you can see that, let's see, what brand is this? These are Micron. So we're going to just we're going to have to put this on a preheater. We're going to have to heat the board and then we'll reflow that chip. Let me clean off all this thermal paste that we have overflowing. Look at this, you should not do this. It should not be overflowing over the whole chip. So let me get this all cleaned up. Yeah, you're really only trying to cool the center. You don't need to put any heatsink compound anywhere else but the center. And it really just needs to be a little pea-sized dot. And so I'm just gonna scrape this off ahead of time, and then we're gonna wipe the rest with isopropyl alcohol and a paper towel. All right, there you go. That's much better. And there's still some wrapped around inside of all the capacitors on the top of the GPU. We'll have to get a toothbrush in there to clean it, but that's basically the way we want it for right now. So let me get this on a preheater, and that way it can start warming up. I'll have to take off this daughter board. All right, so this is gonna be the chip we're working on. I just wanna get it in the right position. Okay, we have the board mounted in our preheater. I'm just gonna heat this up. This will take about 10 or 15 minutes, so I'll be right back. Okay, we got the motherboard preheated. So now we need to add a little bit of flux in here. We need to try to get that flowing underneath the chip. Now that's heated up, it just soaks right in there. And so we're just gonna try to let the flux soak right underneath that chip. And on this first attempt, we're just gonna reflow the chip. So we're gonna melt it and just kind of bop it around a little bit. And so all the solder re-solidifies. My theory on this is that because we're only having read errors, it's probably just 1 or 2 pins or balls that have lost connection. And so that's what we're gonna attempt first. If it is just a bad module, we'll replace it, but this is what I wanna try first. Let's help that flux get underneath there. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little Kapton tape to protect the GPU. We don't need to be heating that too much. Okay, and the Kapton tape is just kind of a heat resistive tape. So that would just help us not overheat the edge of the chip there. We're gonna do our best to try to focus just on this one memory module. I'm gonna rotate the angle here like that. That way we can blow the air across it. Okay, I think we're ready. Let me get my fume extractor set up. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit more flux and let's get going. So I'm gonna use low temperature. We're at 300 degrees C. Because the board heater is gonna be heating up the board most of the way, we're just gonna try to bring it up to melting point. The solder under here should melt at 220 C, right around there. And the board should already be heated up to about 150. So all I'm gonna do is just kind of slowly bring this to temperature and make sure that we have flux flowing under there. I'm just gonna lightly tap it, and that's gonna help me figure out if it starts moving or not. Okay, I had to up the temperature a little bit, and we're gonna see, I haven't been able to get it to melt yet. So this board is really thick, and so it is sinking a lot of the heat. We are taking our time. We don't want to bring it to temperature too fast. So we can see that these capacitors right here have melted solder, and the chip is starting to move just a little bit. So all we're gonna try to do is just tap it just a little bit, and just wanna rock it in place. There you go. And did you see it rock? And it sets right back to where it's supposed to go. So we solidified all of those solder balls, and then now we're gonna let it cool off naturally, and then we'll give it a try. So hopefully we resolve that cracked solder joint that was under there. Otherwise, we'll have to pull the chip off and get it replaced. All right, the motherboard has cooled off. Let's pull it out of here and get it reassembled. We're gonna do a quick test. We'll boot straight into Windows and see if that NVIDIA card is not throwing that error anymore. I'm just gonna clean off any excess flux here before we put it back together. I'll put the shield back on. And we will have to clean off this mess here. Again, I'm just gonna scrape it and then we'll wipe it with an isopropyl alcohol paper towel. All right, got that cleaned up pretty good. So we'll put some fresh thermal paste on here, the correct amount. We'll just do a little line here in the middle, since it is a longer chip. And then we're gonna do like an X, like that. You can add a little bit extra dots if you want, but you don't need to pile the whole thing covered because it will actually spread out. This is only a very, very thin layer. So don't go to town with it. All right, I got the motherboard temporarily installed. Let's go ahead and boot into the Windows operating system and see if that graphics card is working now. All right, we're booted back in the Windows. Let's check the device manager. Now, if this did fix the issue, then we'll see that the card is showing up properly, but it is not. If we look here, we're still getting an error 43, code 43. So that module is probably bad. I'm interested to know if it made a change at all, so I'm going to go ahead and run mats and mods again and see what actually shows up there. All right, we ran mats and mods again. It looks like we're still getting the exact same errors on A0, bank A0. So we're going to have to replace that module, so I'll have to get this board pulled back out. We'll preheat it again, and I'll pull that chip off. All right, I got the motherboard heated up again. Let's go ahead and get this VRAM module replaced. All right, we got the module removed. Everything looks pretty good under here. Let's go ahead and clean up these solder balls. Now, the odds that this memory module is actually what's bad, I think we have a 50-50 chance, because what actually could be bad is something under the core that's not being able to communicate with this, and in that case, then we're going to have to deem this a motherboard replacement, because I'm not going to pull the core off. All right, we got the board prepared for the new chip, but here's the thing. We need a new Micron memory module, so I actually have some donor boards. I've already pulled a few of these chips off, so this chip will need to be reballed, so we need to reball this chip before we can install it. So let me get this out of the way. So let's take a closer look at this memory module. You can see that I've already removed all the solder off of it, but we do need to put fresh solder balls on here in order for us to attach it to the board. I do have this stencil, which is nice to have the actual stencil that goes to it. So all we need to do is get this installed in here. Hold it in place. All right, that is in there. It's flat. Let's make sure that the stencil lines up here. And the stencil does line up perfectly. What we want is a light gap. We don't want it to be touching the chip itself because we don't want any flux to get on there. We're going to be using 0.45 millimeter balls, and those will rest right in there and stick to the flux that we're about to put on the chip. So I already have all that lined up. That looks good. Just want to make sure all this stuff is clean. I don't have any leftover residue or flux on here that anything can stick to. So this is just isopropyl alcohol. All right, got all that dried off. Okay, so now we want to add just a little bit of flux to this, but we don't want too much because it will make it run too much. So we're just gonna put a little dab like that. And then I'm just gonna use my finger to get an equal amount all over the chip. And we're just gonna dab it around. If we swirl it, we can do that, but if we need to make sure that it's absolutely equal and we don't have too much in one area. So what the flux is going to do is it's going to allow the solder balls to stick to it. But if we have too much flux, then the flux will run and the solder balls will start moving away. So we need to have just the right amount, and I think we do. So now we can put this back in place. And I have my 0.45 solder balls. We'll put those in here. Okay, we got all the balls lined up on there, and now we just need to heat this up slowly with a low airspeed and a low temperature. All right, so we have our donor chip reballed, and we're ready to install it. Let me get it off of this chip heater and let it cool off. All right, just cleaning this up before we get it installed. Get all this extra flux off of here. Now that we have our donor chip reballed and get it installed, I'm hoping this is going to fix the issue. I'm starting to think the odds that the issue is under the GPU core is probably a lot higher, considering it is only reads that it's having an issue. But at least this is, we've made an effort to try to get this working, and we will see how it goes. All right, so the board is still warm. I got some flux on there, and we can line the chip up. We have pin 1 right here, And we have pin 1 right there. So we're just going to line this up. Like so. All right, let's get it installed. What we're waiting for is whenever we get this thing heated up enough, you'll see the solder balls will melt and then the chip will actually rest in place. It'll sit itself down. There we go. It just moved on its own. So now it should be seated properly. We're just going to do a little tappy, tap, tap. All right. So that's good. We're going to let it cool off, and then we'll run our test again. Unfortunately, if it does have an issue, then we're just going to call it a bad CPU and let the customer know. All right, I've reinstalled the motherboard. We're booted the Windows. Let's see if the graphics card is still throwing that error. And it sure is. So it looks to me like the issue is not actually in the VRAM. It's going to be under the core itself, communicating with that chip. And so unfortunately, that's going to be something where the motherboard's just going to have to be replaced. It's not, I'm not going to be pulling that core off and trying to reball it or anything like that. So I'll let the customer know. I'd love to know your thoughts on this one. And thanks for watching.
I couldn't save this laptop.